Right then, some radical action is required this week. I've made a drastic decision. I'm too old to wait for rhubarb to grow, and anyway, I can buy a ready-made pie in Tesco for £1. So rhubarb, you're too slow, you're fired. It's been quite a dramatic week actually, both in the Yarden and in the government. However, back to the Yarden. The day after I filmed the baby spiders in the lilac bush, a really violent storm blew in and blew them out, completely blew them away. They're probably in Kansas now, and I miss them really. It was such a shame, but I hope they're all okay. And the other major news is I went out probably really for the first proper time in about 9 weeks since we've been in lockdown in England, and I just made a manic dash to the garden centre. I think I was on the brink of a nervous breakdown, and but definitely the plants I don't think could have lasted another week without some compost. And I managed to do a trolley dash. Anyway, I grabbed and I dashed in Dobbies, and I picked up a few meagre little plants, and thankfully I managed to grab some desperately needed compost. It's a huge weight off my mind and out of George Michael, my car. I think I could almost feel my heart beating for the first time in months after I lifted the bags out. But let's not get too excited. It was probably just indigestion. Anyway, let me show you what I've just done. Here we go. There we are, all cleaned up. That looks much better. And I can see how damp the compost is now. I've given it a feed. I fed everything in the week, but I think I'll give extra feed to the bamboo because it's still struggling. It's absolutely covered in greenfly, and it's not really looking very happy. So watch this space. Still cultivating my malaria swamp. Move on. Here we are, all hellebores have been cut back. They look much fresher and cleaner, much tidier. And here's the Yarden. Today is very late May. I think it's about the 28th of May, maybe, around about there. It's definitely still May. Oh God. And here are some of the little plants I managed to grab on my dash to the garden centre. They're from two actually. I've been sitting on a plan for a while now, since the fruit trees have come into leaf, to put, you can see here, to put some hanging baskets with electric, sort of dark electric blue lobelia. And usually you can get it anywhere, you can pick them up on garage forecourts, but yesterday when I went out briefly for an hour, there was hardly anywhere, but managed to find some trays tucked up in the back in Dobbies. So here it is. These are little plugs, so I'm going to try and I'm going to try and knock up some sort of hanging baskets, because they were not to be found in the shops. I've got an idea to split a plant pot in half and see if I can secure the compost in there with some black plastic and somehow tie it onto the wall with a curtain bracket. Exciting times! I'm sure it'll be fine. I got some petunia, beautiful pink one. Filthy addiction, Pepsi packs. I got some little rescue plants from the supermarket. 8p. I'm not sure what that is. We'll have to wait and find out. And a little other summer plant, 8p, a gazania, 8p. Oh, he's gone to sleep. When it's open, it's pew, pew. Lovely yellow daisy thing, and a oh god, what superstar name shall we give you? Christina Agaranthemum. You can see I'm an expert. 8p, and the others were full price. They were from B&M. There we go, £2.50 each, or £3, £4, £5. So of course I got 3. I got a salvia, which will always be salvia. I got a verbena with bees, and a centaurea, Delbata centaurea. You have to give me a moment to think about a showbiz name for that, a celebrity name, centaurea. And more petunias, different colours. I picked this one really because for the blue, but it looks like the tray's mixed. So anyway, those are for another day, but the big job for today is definitely furloughing the rhubarb. And what I'm going to do is finally dig out this huge big ugly salvia, which when it's in full leaf and full bloom it's spectacular, but it's far too big. It covers the window, I can't see out, and the snails ravage it. And as I said the other week, I've got other plans for that space. So I've got my vintage cake slice. I'm going to start digging. Back in a minute. It was going quite well. I thought I was going to get away with that, but there's no way a vintage chrome cake stand is going to get through that beast. Look at that. Can you see? That is a root thicker than my leg, and I've got goalkeeper's legs. So I'm going to have a break, probably have another Pepsi Max or a pint, and get the big saw, because that's long and I don't want to dig up all my geraniums just to get that out. So bear with. Gotcha. Ooh, already. Easy enough. It's out. And that fight got a bit ugly. However, I win. Do you know, I think if I left that there on the concrete, it would grow. What a beast. And I got the root ball, which was a bit of a monster. But I'll plant that, and that'll definitely carry on growing. Nothing going to stop it. Oh god, this lot, I'm still traumatised from last year. I can't even bear to pick it up, but I'm going to do it. I've got to go. Oh my god. Oh. God. Oh, it's so much better already. I'm so relieved. Oh, that's transformed it. I'm so happy about that. There he is. All done. And guess who's still here? Couldn't best do it. You live another day. I forgot to say there were very few people in the garden centre, which was brilliant. So lots of space to move around, but also very few plants, which was a little bit tragic, a little bit sad. However, I did find in the clearance section, squeezed in amongst lots of very poorly looking things, this brown fig, which is amazing really. I don't know why it was reduced, but it was. It was from £16.99 to £5.09. I don't know what's wrong with it. It looks good to me. It's got lots of new growth. Lovely leaves. Well, a bit damaged there, but lots of new growth. So just in the nick of time to replace the peach tree, which is completely decimated now. Not only has it got peach leaf curl, the snails have done away with those tiny little peaches that were growing. So I'm just going to put that in a corner and ignore it until I can treat it, and put this fig in its place. So that should grow really happily and healthily against the red brick wall. Lots of heat. It'll be up high, and yeah, that's exciting. I love figs.